It was exactly 1 week ago when Dr. Chris Dombrowski spoke before Rotarians on medical marijuana. Today they were once again treated to the subject, this time in debate form, with another medical professional and a former hand of the law. Former Chief Justice Peter Siguenza asked Rotarians to evaluate today's arguments and apply common sense and their own experiences.
I urge you to do that, and I think you will conclude that there is that medical marijuana and marijuana for social use should be allowed.
As for Dr. Thomas Shea, he says consider the dangers and consequences of marijuana abuse.
Now, marijuana, should we legalize this for recreational use? I don't think so.
Siguenza related the debate on marijuana on learning from past mistakes, such as the prohibition of alcohol. He says it's been more than 40 years since the war on drugs started, with apparently no end in sight, only until somebody makes the change. He adds marijuana is labeled as a Scheduled I controlled substance, joining the ranks of LSD, heroin, peyote, and mescaline, ahead of some Scheduled II substances such as PCP, morphine, methadone, and opium. He further criticizes how alcohol is not even on the schedules, despite how addictive it may be.
So ask yourselves, why is it that alcohol, nicotine, and for that matter, caffeine, are not on these scheduled controlled substances, and yet marijuana is a Schedule I substance?
Dr. Shea agrees that marijuana should be taken off of Scheduled I and put on Schedule II so that physicians can study the drug and manufacture it. He does, however, disagree that just because alcohol is legal, so should marijuana.
We have already got one harmful chemical out in the public. You don't need another one. And as doctors and nurses, we see that every day.
And medically speaking, he further stressed how marijuana is a psychotropic drug, meaning the effect goes straight to your brain.
You can impair short memories, you can impair attention, coordination, and balance. You wouldn't smoke marijuana and go out and drive a car, let alone ride a bike or go out to a racetrack and drive a hot rod. You're not going to do that.
He adds marijuana can cause hallucinations, dependency, withdrawal, and have carcinogens causing cancer. In the long term, he even says, it can lead to addiction. He states the benefits to using marijuana recreationally are simply anecdotal effects and are not scientifically based, adding when you're in a court of law, it's about evidence, not common sense, as Siguenza had noted. Siguenza continued to relate his argument to alcohol, saying if alcohol can be legalized with restrictions, why can't marijuana, not only for medical use, but socially as well?
We are responsible adults. We can handle alcohol. Those who have problems with it, we have measures to deal with that. There were 50,000 deaths on average directly caused by alcohol each year. Direct deaths from marijuana, as far as the material I have read, zero. None.
Shea, meanwhile, says while smoking marijuana may not directly kill a person, it does have an even dangerous effect when mixed with alcohol, something he says is a common practice in regards to recreational use. He further discussed the states of Washington and Colorado, which recently approved the legalization of marijuana. Not everything is high on life there, as he says problems have occurred with conflicts between state and federal law.
That's going to be a problem for us doctors, because we don't want to lose our license. The DEA is going to come down on us for prescription violations, etc. They're going to catch us, they're going to put it in jail. We don't want that, period.
Rotarians further questioned both speakers, such as whether marijuana is more dangerous on the human brain than alcohol, to what are the economic consequences should marijuana be legalized. Siguenza says if controlled like alcohol and tax, it could generate high revenues. Dr. Shea, however, says if legalized, he could almost guarantee that marijuana stores could be opening up everywhere, adding if it's anything like alcohol and the level of impact it has on healthcare, he estimates an effect in the millions of dollars. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.